Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here in Indonesia and in Jakarta, and thank you, Minister, for your remarks as well. For me, being out here in a country like Indonesia amongst developers is perhaps the most exciting thing that I get to do on a daily basis, and it's fantastic to have a chance this morning to share some thoughts with you. For me, everything that we do at Microsoft starts with our mission to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. And when we talk about empowerment, there isn't a better place to start than with developers, especially in the age we live in today, where digital technology is part of every industry in a country like Indonesia. Going forward, it's going to be much more central to the economic growth of Indonesia. The people who are going to make that possible are the developers of Indonesia. And so I go back to the very origin of Microsoft. Microsoft was founded by a couple of developers, one of them who dropped out of school, Bill Gates, to create the first product that Microsoft created, which was a basic interpreter. So when we think about developers, it is really something that has been there with us from the very beginning. And now, of course, we look forward. As a tech company, we have a very specific point of view on the arc of technology. When you look out 5 years, 10 years from now, we all as developers have to have a real sense of what the future is going to be, because we are in the business of creating the future. We don't live in the past, we don't live in the present. What we have to do is to look out to the future and create it. And in that context, I describe the world as a mobile-first, cloud-first world. But we have a very specific point of view by what we mean by mobile-first. Mobile-first for us is not about the mobility of a single device. Mobility for us is about the mobility of the human experience, all the richness it entails across all the computing in our lives. That is what it is about. It's about the mobility of humans, not mobility of devices. And when we sort of think about mobility that way, the role of the cloud becomes self-evident. Cloud is the control plane that allows your applications, your data, your experiences to move with you. And that's the rich world that we envision. Even the cloud, we don't have a narrow view of the cloud as a destination. Cloud is a rich distributed fabric for developers to be able to take advantage of the infinite compute capacity to be able to build the applications that you are going to build. So with that richness in mind of mobile first, cloud first, we are building out 3 rich platforms for all of you developers to be able to take advantage of. The first one is what we describe as the intelligent cloud platform. This platform really brings the openness and flexibility so that each one of you, whether you're a Windows developer or a Linux developer, a Java developer or a .NET developer, can use our cloud technology to build the applications that you want to build. The other thing that we are very focused on is to drive the productivity of the developers. The minister talked about how there is a real need in Indonesia for more developers, for more coders, but most importantly, for every developer in Indonesia to be most productive. So everything from Visual Studio, which I think has unparalleled productivity built in. It's the most productive development environment. But along with things like TFS, which is our Visual Studio Online, you have the ability now to do things like continuous development, to be able to do DevOps and build the next generation of applications in the most efficient way. But perhaps more than anything else, when you look at the types of applications you're building, the microservices-based SaaS applications, the IoT applications, the mobile applications, the web apps, each one of these applications is going to be infused with intelligence. The real currency of our generation, from a development perspective, is about infusing into every app that we build AI capability, machine learning capability, the ability for applications to see, to understand human language. And that is really what Azure enables you to do. Just with a set of APIs, our cognitive APIs in particular, you are going to be able to build out very rich applications. And it's fantastic. This morning I had a chance to meet with many developers locally and to see how developers are taking advantage of the cloud. eRapport is an application that was built here so that productivity can be brought to all the teachers on their mobile devices using the cloud so that they can get their job done. One of the other entrepreneurs I had a chance to meet is a young entrepreneur who founded Radia Labs, an Imagine Cup winner, I believe, and it's so fantastic to see him go on, take what he did at Imagine Cup to found a company, which is essentially enabling mobile developers to build mobile applications. And he was telling me about one of the more popular applications in Indonesia, which is about getting your laundry cleaned in a shared economy sense, which I wish I had. It's fantastic to see the type of innovation that's happening in Indonesia on top of the application tools built on the cloud. Garuda Airlines. Now, this is pretty stunning for me to come here and to see how a public sector organization like Garuda is leaning into the future. They are taking advantage of the cloud and building out their B2C commerce, their B2B commerce, using all open source technology on the Azure cloud. It's a fantastic example of an organization leaning into the future. But perhaps one of the things that stunned me the most was to see that your government had the great sense to create a fantastic program around healthcare, and even better sense to use cloud computing to in fact get the most out of the taxpayer money. And so they are now on the public cloud, using the public cloud to be able to deliver unprecedented level citizens of Indonesia. And so these are great examples of the use of cloud technology to do innovative things, do things that are going to change the world. And it's fantastic to see the combination of large enterprises, public sector institutions, and developers and entrepreneurs and startups. The next platform that we're also excited about is what we're doing with Office 365 and our Dynamics product line. We think about, in all this abundance of computing, what is scarce is human attention and time. And how can we bring the tools and the system together so that your attention can be focused on things that matter the most? And one of the keys to that is to take all this information, people, their relationship with other people, their calendars, their projects, their documents, and expose it as a rich graph for all of you as developers. So whether you are building SaaS applications in banking or construction or oil and gas or retail, you can integrate your line of business applications with Office 365 and drive the economy of Indonesia forward. To me, that is another very rich developer opportunity. But one of the things that I'm very excited about is we are at the very beginning of what I think is a profound change in computing. We describe it as conversations as a platform. Perhaps the most natural interface that we as humans are used to is human language. After all, we don't have a difficulty in communicating with each other thanks to the language capability that we all humans have. What if we could take that capability and infuse it into all the computers and computing around us? What if computers could truly understand us? Instead of us having to load screen after screen of applications, learn the menus of all these applications, If we just had the ability to talk and computers to understand us, the applications and the functionality would come to us more naturally. That's the future we envision with conversations as a platform. So of course, there are three key actors in this. There is the humans themselves and the conversational canvases. It could be Skype, it could be Line, it could be WhatsApp. Any one of these things is a conversational canvas where people are having conversations. Second, we have these very special actors called personal digital assistants. And in our case, it's Cortana. What Cortana does is it knows about you, it knows about your organization, it knows about the world. And it's bringing all that knowledge together to help you get things done. And lastly, it is about bots. Just like how you built web applications, just like how you're building mobile applications today, you will build bots for every application. Every business, every public sector organization is going to have a bot because that's the most natural way for anyone to interact with your service or product. So that's the rich world of conversations as a platform that we envision. And to give you a flavor for it, I just wanted to roll a video to give you a sense for how this will come true. Please roll the video.
Each day, we navigate a sea of apps, each with its own unique interface to help us accomplish simple tasks. But are they really making life less complex? What if you could simply pick up your device and start speaking to it? What if you could use the most powerful tool we as human beings use every day? Language. With Skype, Cortana, and the Microsoft Cloud, we're creating an intelligent canvas that's intuitive whether you're tracking the delivery of a package, booking a room at your favorite hotel, scheduling an important customer meeting, or even ordering a pizza. From the moment we're born, we engage in conversations. And if human beings are truly hardwired for anything, it's the ability to interact with one another. So when we think about the next big thing in computing, we're actually betting on the very first thing in being human.
We are very, very excited about what this rich platform can create in terms of developer opportunity. We have something called the bot framework, which all of you can go and use today to build out these rich conversational understanding applications. Applications that can get plugged in, as I said, to any canvas. And you can teach your applications or your bots the understanding of human language. How do you have a dialogue? How do you do turn-by-turn communications? These are all capabilities that are part of this bot framework, and I would hope that I would come back next time to Indonesia and see a very rich world of bots that have been created by all the entrepreneurs here. The last platform I want to talk about is more personal computing. For us, when we think about Windows 10, as I said, we don't think about any one device. In fact, we don't even think of Windows as a device operating system anymore. We think about Windows 10 as an operating system for you, the user, across all your devices. And the idea that this operating system makes all your computing more personal is at the core of what we're doing. It's one developer platform. It's one IT platform. It is one platform for opportunities for developers with the store. We're also very focused on inventing new types of computers. In fact, the first, this platform works all the way from IoT and Raspberry Pi on one end to HoloLens. And so we are very excited about the possibilities, the opportunities for developers in terms of what you can build. The two-in-one, which I'm so thrilled about, this with Surface that we invented, and now it so happens that the other companies are also thinking that it's worthwhile for them to build two-in-ones, and we welcome that. And the idea that you can have a tablet that can replace your laptop was something that 2 years ago, 3 years ago was not conventional wisdom, but now it is the fastest growing segment of computing. Similarly, we are very, very focused on larger screens. Or we have something called the Surface Hub. We hope that every conference room, every collaborative space has a Surface Hub. Because when you have large screens with the ability to have communal computing, where you can have multiple people collaborate, where the computer recognizes the people in front of it, you can annotate, it is a much richer way for you to use computing around you. But perhaps more than anything, the area that I'm most excited about is augmented reality and mixed reality. For the first time in human history, we have this capability to take what we see in the real world and augment it with digital artifacts or holograms. Because throughout our history so far, what we have done is we have seen what happens in the analog world and created essentially mirror worlds that are digital. Desktop is perhaps the most prevalent metaphor. After all, the desktop exists in the physical world, and we said, what if we can create a digital metaphor out of it? And there you had the birth of the PC graphical interface. But now it's changing, where your field of view, what you see, is an infinite display. And you can annotate that world you see with objects that are virtual. So we think that it's going to be pretty mind-blowing in terms of what the possibilities are. But we don't stop there. Just imagine, just like this session started with all the participants participating in this conference through Skype. But what if we can go one more step in this augmented reality world, where they can be anywhere from everywhere? We are at the point where there can be true presence. It's not about virtual presence. It is true presence. And in a country like Indonesia, that can completely change what it means to travel, what it means to participate in education, what it means to have healthcare provided to the remotest of locations. And lastly, it's about the untethered mobility. This is not about having a virtual reality experience tethered to a PC. It is about being able to be completely untethered. So the combination of mixed reality, presence, and mobility, we think is going to usher in an amazing new medium for all of us as developers to build a completely new paradigm, a completely new set of applications that are going to change the world. And to give you a flavor for how you can go about doing it, I wanted to give you a feel for developers and what they're already doing. So let's roll the video. One of the ways we describe this new world is when you change the way you see the world, you change the world you see. I think captures the essence of what this new medium can mean. What is healthcare, what is education, what is architecture, what is industrial design will never be the same again using applications built for the mixed reality. And we really hope that all of you will create those applications that are going to have a profound impact. I want to close, though, where I started. It's our mission. It is our sense of purpose and identity to empower every person and every organization in Indonesia to be able to achieve more. We've been in Indonesia for 20 years, and we are so excited to see how technology is getting democratized, or access to technology is getting democratized here. It is, of course, at the end of the day, about the human capital and the human ingenuity of the people of Indonesia. And that's what is perhaps most exciting to us. We want to bring all of these new platforms, whether it be Azure or Office 365 or the HoloLens in Windows 10, so that it can ignite your passions, it can ignite your dreams to be able to build the next generation of technology that not only will change lives in Indonesia, but change lives everywhere. For us, one of the things that is very central is not to just celebrate technology for technology's sake. It is that impact that technology can have. We live in a multi-constituent world. And so therefore, having that broader impact, and we as developers, having that broader impact in the economies we participate in the societies that we live in, is very important. And I had a chance this morning to see with my own eyes some organizations that are doing amazing work with tech. In fact, the first organization I got a chance to meet is Keynote, and they have won just a grant just 2 days ago around affordable access. And the idea here for Microsoft is to enable local entrepreneurs, local solutions to create local internet connectivity solutions so that every part of Indonesia can have access. And what they're doing is taking educational curriculum and making it available to all parts of Indonesia, even if you have spotty connectivity. That's the kind of innovation that we want to foster. We don't believe that solutions that are too grandiose in scheme work in a real world. It ultimately is going to come back down to entrepreneurs in a market finding solutions that work for that market, and that's what we want to foster. YCAB is another organization I had a chance to meet this morning, and it is fantastic to see how they're taking this notion of empowerment, especially in a digital age, and making it possible for every youth of Indonesia to be able to have access to skills, have the ability to find the jobs, and then really take their potential and realize the potential in what is increasingly a digital economy. This is such an important set of work that needs to happen for people in Indonesia to be able to get the benefits of a digital economy. I also had a chance to meet another entrepreneur who also happened to be someone who won the Imagine Cup, Chakra. And it really touched my heart because what they've done is they've taken software and applied it to solve some of the challenges of special needs children, and in this case, autism. So they've taken what is ABA program and made it possible for parents and therapists right in their home to use their service, this application, to create solutions, have those programs that can intervene on behalf of kids with autism. The reason I sort of bring these up as examples are that is what technology can do. That is what each of you can do with technology. Not only will you build the next big commercial success, not only will you drive the economic growth of this country, but you will also fundamentally change the lives of people. And it is just a tremendous opportunity for us as Microsoft to partner with you, to empower you to do so. Thank you so very, very much. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
About showing courage in the face of reality. The real question that needs to be asked as well as answered is, what is it that we can do that is unique, that is impactful?
It began with the question and a desire to make a difference.
Can you hear me talking?
What we do impacts each and every one of us.
Technology has the power to unite us.
That is something to be celebrated.
When I lost my eyesight, I thought that my painting days were over.
But the vision has evolved, and our mission is clear. We are going to empower every individual and every organization to do more.
I built a computer and I opened a fridge with a Lego.
To achieve more.
We can study black rhinos without disturbing their natural environment, so we can help keep them safe.
Technology has changed Braylon's life by opening up the world for him.
It is a process of continuous renewal. It is about looking forward.
Whatever I can do to help compute a cure for cancer, that's what I'd like to do.
I can see him.
And asking the question, what can we do together? There is no limit to how far we can go.
If you dream big enough and believe in your dreams, you can make it happen.